going to do a problem that's about an arrow being shot into the air at an angle. I know the angle, I know the beginning velocity at that angle, and I'm told the acceleration of gravity, and it's asking how high will the arrow go. So the problem with this question is that it doesn't tell us the speeds in the vertical or the horizontal. It just tells us the speed at an angle. So I'm going to take that, draw it out. I've got a triangle, got an angle, in my case 34 degrees. The velocity at that angle is 52 meters per second. I'm going to try to break that up into how much of that velocity is upwards and how much is sideways. So that's going to be my initial velocity in the y direction and initial velocity in the x direction. Using trig, this is the opposite side of my angle, so it's going to be sine. So it's going to be equal to 52 sine of 34 degrees. And in the x direction, that's the adjacent side to my angle. So it's 52 times the cosine of 34 degrees. So I'll just do those now because I know I'm going to need at least one of them for this first part. 52 times the sine of 34. And make sure your calculator is in degree mode. So it's traveling upwards at 29.078 meters per second. And it's traveling sideways at 43. And it's 1099, so I think I'll just go to 1, 2. So I'll start filling in my grid. I know that the starting vertical position is 0. I want to find out how high it goes. The starting initial speed in the vertical was my sine value down here, my VIY, so 29.078. And the final speed when it gets to the top is 0, at least vertically. Start the timer at 0, not sure how long it's going to take, and the gravity is 9.8. So is there anything I can use down here to get my delta y, or do I have to get the time before I can get the delta y? So if I don't know the time, the first thing I'll do is I'll look at my no time equation. And I know the initial velocity up, I know the final velocity up, and I know gravity. So the no time equation does work for this. If you're not comfortable with the no time equation, there is a way to get time. You could use the top equation. You know the initial velocity up, you know its final is 0, and you know gravity, so you could get the time and then use the time in the second equation. I'm just going to go straight to the no time equation. So using final velocity in the y squared is equal to initial velocity in the y squared plus 2 times gravity times the change in y. And I'm going to get change in y by moving everything else over. Alright, so plug in my numbers. Final velocity is 0. So that's 0 squared. Initial velocity, 29.078. That's squared. Divided by 2 times my gravity of negative 9.8. See if I can remember to square it. Divided by 2 gravities. the minus signs will cancel, and I'll get a vertical position of 43.0 or 13929 meters. And that's it.